Yeah, Chanel is the lens. With his friend finna get lit. I'm everywhere.
Back in Week 5, the Huskies dominated their first matchup against the Jaguars. Can Jacksonville avoid the sweep? The answer comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
Looks like it's going to be a pretty soggy night here at TIAA Bank Field. Rain showers, maybe an occasional clap of thunder supposed to continue throughout here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8, and he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On first down, Lawrence. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Lawrence. His throw incomplete. 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes
Two
last
touchdown
week.
passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. off the play fake. He'll look to throw. It escapes the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Josh Allen. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. If they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And on now is the punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Lawrence will throw. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault, and he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They'll run here with Robinson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A check-in on the numbers last week for Robinson. 18 carries, 66 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got a top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. On the run, it's Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now Lawrence sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Here we go.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Come on.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 52 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of the receiver, Shadon. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Huskies on 1 play have taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run. Robinson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now with Robinson. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know any coach would take 2nd and 3 all day. You think you're in pretty good shape. Instead, after 2 runs, though, they're at 4th and 1. Didn't pick it up.
Back-to-back 1-yard gains. This defense, the challenge was accepted.
Here's Tommy Townsend now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. On play action, they'll throw. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Huskies are able to stretch out their lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense, because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Extra point forthcoming.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
Jaguars, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
2nd and 21, a lot of ground to cover.
Another try after the first down sack.
Lawrence.
And connecting here with DJ Shark. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Shark.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
Powering forward. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he may even buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got it to Patterson, complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. And a huge play that time.
Well, not many teams use the fullback in the passing game. Heck, not many teams use a fullback anymore in the NFL. And even with those that do, you don't typically see a lot of big plays when the ball's thrown to him. In this case, it exceeded expectations.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to throw here. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
They'll try again.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Looking sideline, incomplete. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Robinson now off the option. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they can just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Here's Lawrence. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. That's out wide here for Robinson.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Aaron Jones, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Baker Mayfield leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And this has been a strange game to figure out. Negligible numbers in rushing. In fact, they're not even in double digits yet, but they've got a halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go. Let's go.
And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
They'll run on first down. It's Harrison, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now they'll run on the draw. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Looking to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Huskies take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is now 24. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run again here with Robinson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
And he's got the hook up to Moore. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to throw again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Touchdown! That's caught. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Huskies are pouring it on.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. 2nd and 11 now. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
So this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, man, watch the boot.
Now Lawrence. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Lawrence's throw going to be caught by Davis. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
It's a throw again is Lawrence. And they'll go back to Robinson. This time he's got him. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
On 1st down, Harrison.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. That one may not cost him in the end, but still, obviously something the coach wants to avoid.
Oh, without a doubt. It won't cost the team because of where they are on the scoreboard, but it will cost the player who gave up the football.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. This will go for 5 up to the 33. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Gabriel Davis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you're talking about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yetur Gross-Matos. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. He's got Harrison left side complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And now out come the Jags. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Fighting through pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, Pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Toronto, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.